So how much do you need to start selling on Amazon in 2024? If you don't know who I am, I've been selling for about 4 years now. Last month we did 135,000 plus in sales just in our UK store alone, with tens and tens of thousands of that bottom line net profit. So that's the introduction out of the way. How much do you need to get started? Now, I'm probably quite a good person to talk to about this because I'm actually training someone right now in my family. I don't offer any coaching or anything like that, but obviously I help family out. So I'm actually training someone in my family at the moment to start selling. And it's been a really good learning curve, and what I've understood is exactly how much you need to sort of take this seriously, just by having them as well. So there's kind of two ways to look at this. There's like the slow, like start with £250, £500 way, which is possible, but it's a grind, and we'll talk about that. Or there's the other way over here, where I think it's ideal to have like a set amount, right? And that's the set amount that I'm going to talk about in the video. So both of these ways I'm going to talk about, right? One's not ideal, the other amount is ideal, okay? Both are possible, but it depends on your tolerance and how much you're willing to put up with certain situations and working hard and, you know, working more than obviously you want to work, and your patience and things like that, and your risk tolerance, okay? So scenario one is that, yes, it's absolutely possible to start with like 500 quid. You know, I'd say 250, it is possible, but I mean like 500 is like a minimum that would be ideal, like at least, you know. But the problem with that, the problem with starting with such a low amount of like £500 is that you've got your Amazon seller account fees, okay, which is fine, 25 quid a month, but it's still money. You've got a little bit of software, so let's say an extra 25 quid a month at least, 50 quid a month, whatever. And then after that, you've got, if you're not, it depends if you're prepping from home or not, okay? Because if you're using a prep center, you're going to use prep fees. And the thing with prep fees is that you need to pay them, a prep center, the fees that it's going to cost to prep your items and send them to the Amazon fulfillment centers before you actually start making money. You've got to pay them invoices generally, unless you're going to be sneaky. No, you're going to need to pay your invoices probably like within like a week of receiving it, and you're not going to have sold anything at that stage. So there's a more upfront cost there, which means it just restricts the amount of products that you can either launch or, like if you're doing arbitrage, you can sell. You've then got the cost of the actual product on top of the prep fees and on top of the software and on top of the account. And as you can see, guys, it's all adding up. And then we've got a little bit of PPC spend, you know, depending on, it will be a little bit or a lot, depending on if you do arbitrage, private label or bundles or whatever. It depends on how competitive it is and what model you're doing. So as you can see, the fees start to kind of build up, not to mention some mistake buys where you might buy the wrong thing and you might lose money on it, and then Amazon keep your money for like 2 weeks in their account before they disperse it to you. And all of this means that it's going to be a bit of a struggle on like 500 quid. And that's just a fact that I know to be true from selling for many years now and obviously helping my family member at the moment. And I see multiple people, even though I don't coach people, I see loads of people, you know, have issues with this stuff. So that's just the reality. I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but starting with 500 quid, I mean, it's going to be tough. So you're going to be not seeing that money return for probably quite a long time. And if you want to start with private label or something, forget it. You can't start with that money, 500 quid, no chance. You could only start like a minimal bundle or doing a bit of arbitrage or something, or retail arbitrage. And then over here is like the £2,000 to £3,000 camp, which is... Hey all, just a quick interruption to let you know that BuyBot Pro is kindly sponsoring this video. So you can get a 14-day free trial to BuyBot Pro, which is an Amazon FBA calculator with a lot more stuff. Works out exactly how much profit you're making. You can see a keeper kind of graph at the bottom of it to look back and all that sort of good stuff. So it's a tool that I've been using for many years now, and as you know, I don't promote anything that I don't currently use or have used in the past. So anyway, let's get back to the video. Check out the link. Much more ideal. Still not great, by the way. Like even £2,000 or £3,000, I don't care who says it is. £2,000 or £3,000. If you're doing retail arbitrage, it's okay. If you're sending it yourself, maybe, and you've got fast selling items. But once again, by the time, if you're doing bundles or if you're doing private label, you're probably going to struggle. I mean, it's probably not enough for private label. You know, you could just about do it, but it's not something that I'll probably want to start getting into. Just £2,000 or £3,000. It's very tight to do private label on that. You could do bundles on that. You could start doing a couple of bundles, unique bundles, with your own elements, or just multi-packs and stuff like that alongside your arbitrage for sure. But just remember, you're still going to get some real momentum, you have to have multiple products, especially if you're doing bundles or something. You have to have multiple products, and you've got to pay for the prep fees for that. So it depends if you're outsourcing the prep or not. You've got a little bit of software, and then you've got to buy the products in the first place. PPC as well, which is going to come off your account from all the sales that you make. It's going to suck up your PPC as well. Now, you don't have to spend a lot on PPC. You don't have to test a lot when you're sending items in. But I know for a fact that in the early days, when you put money in, you don't get it back for quite some time, especially because Amazon hold the money in the account for a couple of weeks, and then it comes out, and then you've got to reinvest every penny. So, yeah, you're not going to see the profit for a while, guys. You're not going to, even though you might be making profit, after a few months, you won't see that profit because it's a stock-based business, and that's what a lot of these people that are telling you how to sell on Amazon won't tell you, maybe until you're deep in their training, which you've paid thousands of pounds for. So, look, there's some good guys out there and good girls teaching you how to sell on Amazon. But yeah, some of them that are not the good ones are not telling you the details of this stuff. It's a stock-based business. It's going to be a while for you to get your profit back. So the less you start with, the harder it's going to be to get the momentum. However, the much more of an ideal sort of amount is the 5,000 plus sort of thing. However, it's not necessarily recommended. Maybe you should start with a slightly less amount because, look, the more money you've got to put in, the more risk you've got. Yeah? Like, I started with probably about £2,000. Yeah, it was about £2,000, and then I had a £1,000 limit on my credit card. And then I got some momentum going, started pushing it, didn't really see much profit, pushing. And then I got a £15,000 loan from the government, and that's what really catapulted us into getting some good sort of traction. Wasn't out the woods then because obviously I was paying the loan back, had overheads, and then I had to keep going and keep turning over the money. And then fast forward to now, I haven't had any more investment or anything like that. We hardly owe, well, I think we owe about £7,000 left of that loan. And we've got, quite a significant amount in stock and in the business now, and that's just because we've been constantly, and I've paid myself a lot obviously out of that as well, and we've just been constantly reinvesting into the business and building it. So it's absolutely possible, guys. I would say you probably don't need to, unless you're doing private label, you don't need to invest more than 5. But if you invest less than like 2.5, you're really going to struggle to see that momentum. So it's okay as long as you can understand it's going to be a long game, and as long as you're not going to let the confidence get impacted by that, guys. That's all I'd say. So I want to touch on that because I think a lot of people probably aren't talking about that as much as they probably could do. Yeah, let me know if there's any comments below, any questions you got. Please like the video if it's been of value, guys. Share it with someone that you know that's thinking of getting into Amazon. And yeah, are you going to subscribe? That's the question. See you soon.